Welcome our founders, Mr. David and Adele Hart.
Yes.
All right. Who is excited today?
Yes, we're excited.
One of my goals in life is to bring hope and prosperity to people all over the world. And you guys are helping me fulfill my dream.
Yes!
So give yourself an applause because we appreciate you. Well, you know what? They say behind every good man is a great woman. And this beautiful little woman is very powerful. And she keeps me in line all the time. She's a great mother. She's a woman of God. She's my wife mate. I'm going to let her just take a minute and say hello to you guys. I'm going to share her with you for a little bit, but not too long. I'm a little selfish. So here you go, Miss Adele Hart.
Hello everybody, good morning and good afternoon. I just want to say something, repeat something that my husband said. He said that he want to give hope. And Jeremiah 29:11 said, yes, I have plans for you. The Lord said, I have plans for you. I have big plans for you. Who want to be part of those plans? Tell me, I want it. I want it. Stand up and declare, I'm taking ownership. I want those plans. I want to be part of this plan. I want to be part of this. I'm going to. I'm here because I'm part of this plan. So never forget, the Lord used my husband in a big way to help you, all you guys. Thank you for helping my husband to fulfill those wishes of his heart. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to talk to you guys. Thank you. I'm very humbled to be here in front of all you guys. Thank you.
Love you, Adele!
Yes.
When I met that little lady, I had no idea that she could publicly speak. In fact, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting my hands into, but I wanted my hands all over it.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's just tell it like it is.
Talk to us.
I remember more than 15 years ago showing her network marketing. And it was a company, we were out of Texas at the time, I was a distributor, and we went to an event there, and she's like, what is this? Why are all these people screaming and so excited? Isn't this a job that you just make money at? Because her background was, working a job. She couldn't understand it for a little bit. And she was perplexed with this word called U-Haul. She goes, honey, what does that word mean? I said, well, it's U-All. That means everybody, right? She goes, oh, I thought it was one of those moving vans. So that was our introduction to network marketing. I've been around the space for 3 decades as a distributor, building downlines, now as an owner of a company for 12 years. And I believe that we're just getting started. You know, in the month of July, as a company, we're going to put more than 3,000 partners into the company. They're going to be out sharing the membership and the story of Travorium. I mean, we are on pace to do well over 3,000 new partners. Guys, that is incredible what's taken place. It's happening all over the world, and you guys are at the right place at the right time, right now. I'm gonna sit and talk with Daryl and Maria Roberts. Man, they took some arrows in the beginning. Todd Strand, he's on a whole nother level. I think he had on one of those Superman capes. You may not want to have been there back in that day, but right now is the time to be here. There is no travel membership on the planet that's even close to doing what we do.
Yes.
You know, we give you these net rates on our website, and what we do is we filter 15 different wholesale suppliers, and we populate the best deal at the time. Okay? And so with our travel site, when you're marketing this business, you want to tell your team, and you need to know, hey, you pick the city and let us find the hotel. Whether it's a 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel, wherever you want to go. But let us find you the deal. How does it work with our platform? So we take, our wholesalers have deepest discounts with hotels that have low occupancy, meaning they don't have a lot of rooms. They have a lot of rooms that are available for sale. And so our wholesalers get to go in there and they get to sell those rooms. So when you're marketing our business, it's important that you market cities and let our platform pick the hotels. Are we good on that?
Yes.
And then we have our getaway platform, which I absolutely love. We take the getaway platform trip every single year. Now, I don't want to brag, but I would just tell it to you this way. There isn't a hotel chain that I couldn't call up to because we do so much business and volume that wouldn't give me a free stay at their hotel. Okay? And if I had to write my own check, I'm probably gonna make it through the winter to go stay at that hotel, right? But we choose to use our product. And so every year we spend time in Cabo San Lucas. We run down there every single year with our kids, hang out at the resort for a week. It's absolutely perfect. I got my little translator right next to me. And people go, ¿habla español? I said, no. Mi esposo habla español. And they go, no, you habla español. No. Mi esposo habla español. We got the beach down there. I get to take the boys golfing, which we love to do. The food down there is incredible. We get to go fishing, all the things, sun's down there. It's a great time. And so every year we take 6 months of our travel points and we head down to Cabo San Lucas and spend a week down there. Sitting down there, never fails. We've been going there for 4 years in a row straight. Every time we're down there, we make friends at the pool and stuff, and it always comes to, hey, what do you do for a living? So, well, just enjoy life. Well, how are you here? Are you a member here? I said, well, I'm a member. And then I always divert the question, right? I always go, well, what is it that, what do you do for a living? One year as a guy, he goes, oh, I'm a pistachio farmer. I go, wow. And he started telling me about how big his farm was, right? I said, oh, wow, you got a big old farm. A lot of pistachios. Wow. He goes, yeah, you know, $50,000 up front for the membership. We can come down here, you know, 1 week out of the year. And then we pay that maintenance fee. You pay that maintenance fee? I said, well, something like that. He says, yeah, it's like $1,600. The cool thing is if I want to trade if I don't want to come to Cabo next year, I could go trade it. There's all these different places we can go to. But then we have to pay this transfer fee to go there. He goes, you have that? And I go, we don't have a transfer fee. Not at all. So I said, but hey, you know what? It's really cool to hang out and meet with you. You're going to be here tomorrow? I said, oh yeah, we're going to be here tomorrow. We got our whole family down here. So I'll see you at the pool tomorrow. Next day, hey David, how you doing? Hey Chuck, what's going on, man? Pistachio farmer, right? Yeah. What is it that you do? It's just have a good time. Third day goes by, he's asking me, okay, we're chatting. Hey Chuck, how you doing? Now we're not even sitting close to each other. He walks over, we're chatting some more. He says, so what is it that you do? I said, well, let me tell you, I'm in the tourism business. And I show people how to save money and travel. He's like, okay, well, how much are you down here for? And I looked at him, I go, you don't really want to know. He goes, come on. I said, well, I got the hookup. I said, I paid $349 up front, and then I pay $135 a month. And I'm down here, you know, you're in the 2-bedroom suite? Well, no, we got the 1-bedroom suite, and we got that pool view. I said, okay. Well, I'm in a 2-bedroom suite, but I'm down here for $279 for the week.
Come on now.
He's like, $279? You mean $279 a night? And by the way, $279 a night at that hotel would be a good deal. Because that hotel, that room that we get is about $4,000 a week. I paid $279. So we're chatting a little bit more, and he's like, oh my goodness. He goes, you know, I had to wait like two extra months to come down here for my week. I couldn't get in the week that I wanted. They made me wait. I think sometimes people don't understand in our company really the true value of the getaway platform. Yeah. If you're flexible on your dates, man, you can go in there. There's 400,000 weeks combined throughout the year all over the world. You can stay at some incredible places. You can go to Orlando and just 3-bedroom, $200 or $300 for 8 days and 7 nights. Now, I was out to dinner with my family a couple of nights ago, and dinner cost me $240. I mean, think about that, right? So you got all this inflation and happening around the world, right? But guess what? Travorium still keeps killing it on these deals. See, when I started this company, my number one principle in the company was, hey, we need to have a product that has value in the marketplace. And so if you utilize our membership, it's immense value. And truly, travel is like a health product. Because when you're spending a week away from your normal grind, and you're with loved ones, and feeling the breeze of the ocean, and smelling, you know, the sand, and having a good time, and you're unwound, you're not locked up in that drive or that commute to work, you're not dealing with that boss that you don't like. You just kind of get to change a little bit and feel good, right?
Yes.
So if you were to ask me, I believe that travel is a health product. I think it puts you in a better place of mind. So our next platform, which is our World Tour platform, and
And you guys have all looked at it, everybody's looked at it in the room, right?
Yeah.
So we have what's called instant savings. Not every world tour has an instant savings. But our instant savings, you'll see them sometimes it's $400, sometimes it's $200, sometimes it's $500. When you see those, it's just money that comes off the retail rate that you don't have to apply points to buy down your vacation on. We just launched, I don't know if you guys have seen it in the back office, but you can go to Boston for 5 days for $49. For 5 days.
That's
Stay
cool.
in a
That's
beautiful
cool.
hotel. Where in the world can you go do that in any other travel club?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. It's just, we have so much variety on our World Tour platform. I don't know if you guys know, but there's like 14 destinations in October alone. When we started this, we said, hey, we're gonna do vacations, World Tour vacations from March until November. That was gonna be our target window. Ambassadors that have been in the business, who remembers that? Look around. Remember that? We're not gonna do any world tours in December.
You got nothing.
We didn't do it.
You know? We had like 10 world tours, seven world tours. People come in, they're all brand new, and they're like, oh, can we have this? Can you get that? Can you do this? Guys, there is so much value in their travel membership. You know what? Go with it. One of the key ingredients to finding success in our business is to become a product of the product, right?
Yes.
You know what? I love Daryl and Marie. I was talking to Daryl the other day. He's like, oh, dude, we post every single day on social media. He's like, look at this one right here. She just reached out to me today. She wants to sign up. I said, man, there are people stalking you all the time on social media. Where are you going? What you doing? Right? Become a product of the product. Create your testimony in your story. Post it out on social media. And you'll find that you're going to have people attracted to you because of our product. There isn't a person on the planet that doesn't have a bucket list that doesn't include some type or some form of travel. This marketplace is infinite. And when we talk about the travel industry being, some say, $9 trillion industry, and our goal is just to get like 1/10 of 1% of 1% of that. And your goal should be like, hey, if I got 1/10 and 1/10 and 1/10 of percent of that inside of Travorium, oh, you know what? I can go on and just become an executive director.
Let's go. Yes.
Executive chairman
Yes.
in our company.
All right now.
All right? In our compensation plan, listen, okay, you can make millions of dollars a year in our compensation plan. And I believe one day someone's gonna, because the way that our comp plan works at the ambassador level is you can start a new ambassador position for free and do it all over again. I believe one day we're gonna have somebody that has a big enough dream, they're gonna go out and make $1 million a month. And guess what, guys? I'm gonna gladly write that check every single month. My goal at this point in my life in this business is to impact people's lives in a positive way all over the world. I don't know how long I've got to be here, but I want to take the rest of my time and I want to make an impact. I've been an entrepreneur and business owner and have never worked for anybody, collected a 1099 or a W-2 since I've been an adult. My entire life, it's always been about, I work for myself, I'm gonna go hustle, I'm gonna go make it happen, I wanna call the shots. I wanna teach to the world how to have hope and prosperity from running and operating their own business.
Absolutely.
But it's not just a business. You need to be in the right type of business. When I was washing and waxing cars for a living, it was quite successful at its peak. I was netting $300,000 a year. That's a lot of money 20 years ago, by the way, for a young guy. That's a lot of washing and waxing cars too, by the way. Somebody asked me the other day, how many cars do you think you wax? I said, well, maybe over 100,000 personally. Because when I do something, I was taught this by my mom, she says, I don't care whatever you do, just be the best damn at it. She said, if you want to be a ditch digger, then just be the best damn ditch digger. If you're going to do that. And so at the time I was like, no, Mom, I'm not digging ditches, but I'm waxing cars. I'm going to wax a lot of cars. I went after it, right? In life we get one choice, we need to go after it. You get one go around in life. Go after it. Why is this business back on track? Why is this business the perfect business? Because it's not based on your efforts alone. If this is the thing you take away from here, understand if you want to create wealth, if you want to put yourself in a position to be in control of time and control of money, you need to figure out how to make money while you sleep or while you're not doing work.
Money never sleep.
If you don't figure that out, you are always going to be dictated and controlled by time. And so what is money anyways?
Tool.
Money is an increment of time. How do I know this? Well, statistics say by the time you reach age 65, 97% of the people are going to be dead or dead broke. Couple percent of those people are going to be okay. But only 1% of the top income earners are going to be in control of their time because they learned how to figure out to be in control of money. And so I'm here talking not about getting mega wealthy. I'm here talking to you about how do I get in control of time and control of money. You have to be involved in a vehicle that allows you to create income not based on trading your time for dollars. And that is where you guys are at today. Our compensation plan with daily pay is not based on your own efforts alone. It's based on a team of people that sell our membership, and every time a membership is sold, it creates BV, points. And those points create rank advances in our compensation plan. And Cynthia did a great job explaining the comp plan, didn't she?
Yes.
So, and for some of you, you know what? Hey, an extra $1,500 a month buys back your time. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe $1,500 a month to supplement your retirement. Maybe $1,500 a month in the country you live in because their GDP is lower. Just rocks, right? Whatever it is, whatever increment of time that you need to have based on the income you make, or the income you make creates the time. It's just a rank. At ambassador level in our company, it's 10 grand a month plus. We have some ambassadors making $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a month because they're tapping the coded bonus, right? But if you could earn an extra $120K a year, and it wasn't based on you working an 8 to 5 every week to achieve that, but based on the organization that you put in place, the memberships on your book of business, how would that change or affect your current lifestyle today? What would you do differently if you had control of time and money? What would you do? Would you spend more time with your kids? Would you spend less time with your spouse? I mean spend more time with your spouse. Spend more time with your spouse, right? Devote more time to the things that you love to do. Pour into other people's lives and teach them this business. Fall in love with the process. We all have to work. We all have to go get it done and do the grind to pay the bills, right? But there are better ways to do the grind.
Yes.
There's a better way. And that better way can create a better life for you.
Travorium way.
So, one quick story before we break for lunch. Network marketing is an interesting business.
It is.
Funny one.
You know, it's all the work in this business is the work that takes place in your mind.
Yeah.
Nowhere else. Because as soon as you learn to master your thought process, everything becomes easy. Maybe you're scared to pick up the phone and prospect somebody. Master that fear. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Maybe in your mind you feel like you can't do a presentation, you can't publicly speak in front of the room. Master that fear in your mind. And guess what? You can do that. How do I know that? Guys, I spent 3 years in network marketing and didn't even recruit anybody. You understand that? I remember the first time I had to publicly speak. My stomach was doing hula hoops through my ass. So for all of us Christians out there, I don't believe that was a bad word. If I offended you, I apologize. There was no disrespect in that. That was the only way I could say it. In fact, Mike Oliver, where's Mike Oliver? Is he still in the room? Mike was my sponsor in that company. We were doing a home presentation at my house with my friends. My house, my friends. And I was so nervous that I could not get up and introduce Mike Oliver to speak to my friends in my house. Think about that. You got to learn to master the mind. All the work in this business is in your mind. And you know the other thing I think that you need to do is have hope. Because when you have hope and you believe that good things are going to happen, good things will happen. Because all of a sudden your personality, your persona, your vibe with people, they start to feel that. It is so true. I remember one time I was playing basketball in a gym, and I was pretty successful in a network marketing company, and I pulled up in my Porsche, and I got out of my Porsche. And I walked in, and a guy right there, we're walking in the gym together, and he's like, "What are you doing now, David? I thought you were waxing cars. What are you doing now?" I looked at him, I said, "You wouldn't like what I'm doing now." I didn't really like this guy. Truth be told. He played kind of dirty on the basketball court, and him and I got into a few scraps, but I love to go kick his butt in the game.
Okay, right.
I said, "Nah, you wouldn't be interested." So we played ball at the end. He walked out of the gym with me, and he was like, "All right, David, I'm intrigued. You told me I wouldn't be interested, but I got to know what you do." I said, "All right, well, come on, let's go down to Starbucks, and I'll show it to you." Now, first principle, right? I didn't beg him. I actually took it away from him, right?
Yes.
So there's something called posture when you're talking to people.
That's right. It's
You
not for
don't
everybody.
need them. You're not
They
begging them
need
to
us.
see this opportunity. In fact, you're doing them a
Favor.
a service. It's up to them after they make the decision whether it's for them or for not. Has nothing to do with you. So we get to chatting and we get to talking. I'm showing him the business. He's like, "Hey, would you do me a favor? Would you show it to this doctor friend of mine?" And I knew his doctor because he was big time in the Amway business and a very successful doctor in our town. I said, "Shoot, I'd love to go meet that guy." I met him over at a restaurant, presented the presentation to him, and you know what? He was mega wealthy. And he looked right at me and he says, "You know what, David?
He goes, that's one of the best presentations I've seen. And man, it makes a lot of sense. But where I'm at, I don't need money and I don't have a why or a dream to do the business. And you know what? I didn't show that I was discouraged on the outside. Man, I was like James Bond. I was cool. And he looked at me for a minute and he goes, but you do know, I have a brother who's a chiropractor down in Carlsbad, and he needs this business. And would you mind contacting him and go show him the business to him? I said, yeah, let's do it. So now I'm my like second lead, right? From the guy that I didn't want to do business with on the basketball court. I still wanted to kick his butt on the basketball court, but I didn't want to do business with him. So I go down and meet his brother. And so we're chatting about the business, and in the living room, while we were in the kitchen, his cousin was visiting from Guam. About halfway through the presentation, she walks over and she goes, can I hear about this too? I go, yeah, come on in, sit down, I'm excited. By the way, I'm excited about showing the business plan. That's like another key factor when you're sharing our business with people is to what? Be excited. Because if you're not excited, they're not following you. They're like, that dude was boring. Why would I do that? People are doing three things. They're asking themselves three questions when you're presenting to them. Number one, do I want to do this? So make it fun. Second question is, can I do this? So don't be an engineer, don't be analytical and pull out the 27-page presentation.
Keep it simple.
5,000 words on each page. You're gonna lose them, right?
Keep it simple.
So if you're real analytical and detailed oriented, you know what? You need to cut out about 75% of what you say so you can get that person signed up and get them on their way.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The next thing is people are going, when you're presenting to them, their question they're asking themselves is, they say this question: why would I do this? So when you present this business, you need to like help them dream, help them talk about residual income, our daily pay, right? If you only talk about travel,
Yep. Say it, say it, say it,
Say
say
it.
it.
so for
Yes,
some of
Cynthia.
you, I'm gonna bruise some feelings.
Gotta talk about the money.
Say it. I gotta get
I mean, hold on, I'm gonna be like this.
you better
Smack
say
you
it.
around for a little bit.
Talk about the money.
You know
Gotta
that
talk
there
about
are
the
a lot of
money.
people in this world today that don't believe they either have the time to travel or they can afford to travel. And if you only leave this presentation or talk about this presentation on travel, you might have lost them from the beginning.
That's right.
You need to tangle in, hey, if I could show you a way to make better money
You
or
travel more.
income by showing others how to save money on travel, which happens to be the largest industry in the world and everybody loves to do it and it's easy to talk about, would you want to know more? You need to come up with a way to talk to people about income. People ask, well, what's going on with some of our ambassadors? What's going on with that Slavic team? Why are they growing like crazy over in Kazakhstan? Where are so many ambassadors breaking over there? We got ready to break our first ambassador in Kyrgyzstan, by the way.
Wow.
Wow.
Woo!
Because they spend their time talking about making money.
Yes.
And then they talk about the product. They're interchangeable, but you need to talk about the money. So back to the story. So the gal walks into the room. She lives in Guam. She's like totally elated about the business. She goes, sign me up, I'm in. I'm like, Guam? I don't even know if we're open in Guam yet. I go, well, it is a U.S. It's a U.S. country, territory. And I thought to myself, by the way, where the heck is Guam? I went to look on one of those globes, because you didn't just turn Google on back in the day, because we didn't have Google back then. I couldn't find the dang thing. I go, oh, it's like 6 or 9 hours from Hawaii on a flight. I go, cool. So we signed this lady up in Guam, and 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing presentations every single night. She's excited, I'm excited. It's still 2 in the morning. It kind of messes with your flow, right? If you're a networker, about 1 a.m. you go to sleep, and then you want to sleep until like 10 in the morning and get up and do it all over again. At 2 a.m. when you do a presentation and you're excited, you can't go to, at least I can't go to sleep until like 4 a.m. in the morning. Because I'm like all fired up. It's like, who am I calling now? Let's do it again. I'm
That's
worked
right.
up, right? So, at the time, I remember I fly over to Hawaii. We had a big team building in Hawaii, thousands of people over there. I do a presentation over there, and then I book my flight to go to Guam. So, I'm a little, as my wife likes to call it, cheap. So the lady that books my flight for me, she says, I tell her, hey, give me the cheapest flight. I go, great, I'm flying on the cheapest flight. Well, guess what, guys? Don't ever fly the cheapest flight.
I'll put you in the middle.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. So my little 6 or 8 or 9 hour flight, it felt like it was a 24-hour flight. And I was on this plane that had like 5 rows in the middle. And I was in the middle of the middle. Now, for those of you that can't see very well, you don't take a guy with this frame, which happens to be very handsome and beautiful, but a little large, and put him in the middle of the middle. Man, no air conditioning on that plane. It was broke. It was hot. I'm sitting down right there. God bless them. These 2 ladies come sit next to me. This is a true story. Big Samoan gals. They just sit right next to me. We're talking and stuff, and I'm like okay. Flights, like, we're doing island hopping from one island to the next for hours. So it wasn't a straight flight. It was stop at all these different places, wait on the plane, keep going. At one point during the flight, I look over and this gal, man, she was laying on my shoulder. She was all over me. She was in my space. And I was having a problem. And I was in a business shirt. Today when I travel, if you ever see me on a plane, I'm like in sweats. I got Crocs on, I got sweatpants and a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. But people are like, look at that dude over there, he needs to dress up, he's wearing pajamas. I look over and she's asleep on my shoulder. And she's slobbered all down my shoulder sleeve.
Woo-wee.
And I thought, this is never going to end. I remember getting up and asking the stewardess, I said, hey, when do we get to Guam? She says, oh, you're on that trip to Guam? We gotta stop like at 4 more islands. Kid you not. Oh, I was so mad. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I finally get over there. And I told the lady, so when I come over there, because I didn't think there was anything to do in Guam, I said, make sure that you work me every single day. We're doing something. We were on radio stations. We were meetings at every hotel. I rolled into the first meeting of that hotel that I was, because of our flight and having to change my clothes and go to the hotel, like 10 or 15 minutes late. And I was the speaker, right? I roll into that and I open up the door and there's 500 plus people in that meeting space. And guys, 500 people in our comp plan, displayed right, you're an ambassador.
That's right.
Right? I was like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden that those hula hoop things, They were coming back. I was like, oh man, I can't mess this up. It's a big team. I had no idea. And those people went on to crush it in the business. And that's all started from telling a guy, you would not be interested in our company.
That's boom.
Wow.
You never know where this business is going to take you. So it's important that you have hope, because you don't know who you're going to meet tomorrow. You don't know who they know. Is that fair?
Yes.
You have no idea. You don't even know when you meet somebody if they're the person, because you can't open up their chest and see how their heart operates. You cannot see the fire burning inside of them, the desire that they want to change. See, this business doesn't judge people. It runs people through the system, and it allows you or other people to judge themselves based on their action steps. You can't look for people with high IQs, because sometimes that don't work. You can't look for good-looking people, because sometimes that don't work. You can't look for educated people, because sometimes that don't work. You got to look for all people. And you let them make a decision if this business is for them. You have no idea where this business is going to take you. You might be sitting in the room and you don't even speak English, and you're listening to a translator right now, and you're like, what in the world is this guy talking about? Just understand that you are one recruit, one leader away from an explosion in your business. And you need to think like that, and you need to believe like that, so that your or your personification of who you are attracts those kinds of people.
Yes.
Final thoughts before we go to lunch. Never close the door on a prospect
Yes.
that you have or someone on your list.
Good. Good.
I called this lady. She was the MVP of this company that we got involved in one year. I was the MVP next year. And I said to her, hey, I'm starting a company. I want you to come over here and be one of the top leaders. She didn't pick up the phone, basically. She's Then when she picked up the phone, I was like, ooh, ow. She beat me up, boy. I kept her on my list, though. And today she walked across the stage as a one-star ambassador, sharing our compensation.
That's right.
Cynthia Salai is a tremendous leader. Loves this business. Every time I text her or call her, she's, oh, David, this is the greatest thing. And she looks real serious at me, or on the phone, I hear she goes, don't mess this up. Hey, listen, my speech today was to talk about vision, prosperity, and hope. And I hope I did that and gave that to you guys for a little bit tonight. I am asked a lot of times, what's the vision for you in Travorium, David? And so 2 thoughts on that. I'm living my vision. I haven't arrived, but that day is coming. I plan on being here decades to come and pass a legacy on to my children. And so you know, Igor Nagitsky, my dream is big enough to encompass the $1 million a month that you want to make. I believe one day we'll fill stadiums across the world.
Yes. Yes.
I believe that you'll have an opportunity to have people in your business that don't even speak your language. I believe that you can make a masterful impact in other people's lives by telling your story. You see, folks, it all starts with this. When you start saying, I believe, then all things become possible. So with that, let's go enjoy lunch. Is there announcements? Where's Mr. Todd Strand? Are we done right now? Lunch. Hold on 1 second, real quick. Hold on, we got some directions. Don't get up yet. We have enough food to feed everybody. Okay, the DJ, you got some stuff for us? Okay, hold on.
Yes,
Listen to the
ladies
DJ.
and gentlemen, we are going to break for lunch. We're going to form 3 lines for the buffet outside. Make sure you use these 3 exit doors in the back ballroom. Please do not exit out of the right side. We are not going to the buffet from the right side. Form 3 lines, the back exit doors. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your meals.